dark chocolate. That's all I've eaten.
Wait, so what time? So yeah, so what was it? Yeah, so I was watching. How was traffic yesterday? Driving your folks.
Oh, it wasn't my folks. It was their friend.
I mean, their
I was
friends.
driving. I was a chauffeur for the folks. And their friend.
How was it?
It was stupid. It took me like 2 hours to get to the airport.
I always take 99 to go to the airport now. I know.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, it's kind of like weird because like
it's because you're used to driving to that comic shop down there, so it's just habit. You're like, I know this route.
Yeah. Well, like if you take I-5 south, like it goes around, versus 99 kind of like just goes straight and like that. Anyway, so Jason and I were just talking about Mayans. It's a show. You guys should all watch it. It's freaking amazing. I was up till midnight last night watching Mayans. Pretty good stuff. What's up, Michael? Thanks for joining us today.
I don't have the thread where I can see everybody. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, I don't. Yeah, man.
I didn't even know we were live for a second until you started talking to everybody. I was just like, wait, who's he talking to?
I've been doing that lately.
I've seen Mayans.
I've been doing that lately and like just throwing people off. I'm not sure 78 points is in the chat, but he hollered at us. I actually posted. I'm going to post this. We're talk about this book later in the show. So I was supposed to have Matrix Comics come on the show today, but he had some stuff to take care of, unfortunately. But fortunately, we got Jason in here. I'm going to send Fedora the link a little bit later.
Fortunately. Oh, damn. I didn't even check my freaking fantasy lineup either. I just realized that. I'm like, dude. Oh, it's 10 o'clock. I don't even know who I have in. Sweet.
Whatchamacallit? Man. How is your fantasy team doing so far this year?
Oh, terrible.
Oh, good. It's only week 8.
I have no wins. I have no wins in one of my pay leagues. I have one win in another one of my pay leagues, and then I have 1 or 2 in like my fun league. I'm like, this sucks.
Really?
It's not a bad team. It's just that everybody seems to have their best week against me. Like the week that Justin Fields and DJ Moore happened to go off, like I was playing a guy who had both of them in his lineup. And then when Jamar Chase finally went off, I was playing the guy who had him in his lineup. I'm like, this is stupid. I was like, I would win if you guys didn't have all these stupid guys going off on me.
You're the Arizona Cardinals of
I have the most I have the most points against me per team. And I have like third best points for. I was like, I should be sitting at third place right now. God damn it.
Ah, God, that sucks. Well,
instead I'm the guy at the bottom of the pile that everybody like tries to trade with. They're like, oh, he's just going to offload his team for picks next year. I'm like, no, I hate that shit. I don't do
that. Dude, Crow won CGC 9.8 with Silver 76. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Was it a Crow #1 second print for $150 or something like that the other day? Not bad.
I grabbed that. Well, was it? I mean,
it wasn't like the most immaculate looking book, but I mean, still, you give it put a little makeup on it, and you got freaking maybe a 9.4.
Put a mustache on it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, don't diss the mustache.
Have you gone in Kraken games at all lately?
No. Not yet. I mean, they're only 6 games deep in the season, I think.
Yeah. Do you want to go see
eventually I will.
Exorcist next Saturday instead?
Actually, yeah, I can. As long as we do it in the morning. I got a Halloween party that I got to go to that night.
Yeah, we can go in the morning.
But that, like I said, that's probably not even until 9, so we can go like afternoon or even evening too.
No, we can go. We can go at.
Are we taking the wifey too?
No.
Be like, we'll go to Cinnabar so that she can have a drink too, and it won't be as bad.
Dude, she hates horror movies, man. Like, hates them.
Just tell her we're going to see like Care Bears or something. Like, no, there's a new Care Bears Halloween special. No, we're going to see it's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. That's what we're going to see.
Yeah.
But it's like when he goes to kick the football and you just like.
No, she
sees the tickets and like, that's that Exorcist on it. She's like, what? It's like, man, they must have given me tickets. I don't know what happened. You can blame that on me. Be like, Jason bought the tickets. It's cool.
No, I'll take 100% responsibility for that, man. That's good stuff. Real quick, we're 6 live so far. Thanks everyone for joining. Please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. It helps the algorithm. It helps Jason and I pay for cat food for our cats.
Them lazy bitches.
Crazy bitches.
Cats should be going out and getting their own food.
Yeah, seriously.
Mine just gets whiny every time. It's like an hour before feeding time. She's like following me around, like meow, meow. I'm like, go get a job,
dude. I didn't feed the cats until like hella late today, and they were causing a ruckus. What up, Josh? I sent those books out last Thursday, so you should get them pretty soon. So thanks again for your support, man. I appreciate it.
I know I'm like looking through my stack of slabs over here for like giveaways at some point that I.
Oh, cool.
It's either crack them and try to sell them the way that they are, or we'll just give them away and people can do what they will.
Cool. Spoilers real quick, but not really spoilers, but I did watch the most recent episode of Loki.
Me too. Catch that pretty much like every Thursday night when I get home from work.
Dude, it's so good, and I actually need to re-up my my subscription. And dude, I can't get enough of this show, man. What do you think of the last episode?
I was hooked from the first season too. I was just like, dude, this is a great show. Like people, it's weird. Like there's a lot of people that like all these other shows that they've done or whatever. Like for me, I'm always the one that like, I like the ones that they don't talk about. Like I was a big fan of I liked WandaVision. I thought that was a good little quirky show. Loki was one of my favorites that they came out with, and I'm thoroughly digging season 2.
Yeah, season 2 is really good. I think it's a fun show. I liked how.
Do you know what made it for me though? That vaudeville intro that they had on. Not it doesn't spoil anything, but the vaudeville intro that they had for Loki, where they're playing the Marvel music in vaudeville style, like that was freaking cool. Awesome too.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, no, good point. Nothing much, man. We're just kind of going over some quick stuff before we hit the 10-minute mark, and then we'll go into the slides today. Again, if you're just joining, we were supposed to have Matrix on the show today, but he had some family stuff to take care of. We'll hopefully have him next Sunday, and I think that'll be kind of a nice little piece to have for the end of October. But again, thanks everyone for coming through. We will do a giveaway regardless of how many people are in the show. I do have a Blu-ray Point Break, if people want it, to give away, since I have 47 different media copies of Point Break. I would be more than happy to give one away today if we have enough interest in it. Anyway, yeah, just kind of talk about Loki. I kind of looked at I don't know if anyone follows my Instagram, but I was looking at just the really cool stuff about the show, or just like the really, the well-written show and like the popularity of it. I feel that people are actually digging it. The needle hasn't really moved though a lot for any of the books that are Loki related. I think you commented on that first appearance of Nathaniel Richards as what's the character? Thomas Time Works or whatever.
Victor Timely.
There you go, Victor Timely. Thanks, Jason.
They didn't make him a mayor though. In the comics, he was a mayor of a city of Time, whatever the hell his town was in Wisconsin. So it was kind of cool that they.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to talk about the episodes.
No, dude, you can talk. I mean, so spoilers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I mean, it came out on Thursday, so at this point, I hope everyone watched it that is watching it. Do talk about it. It's okay.
But it was just cool. I mean, it was cool that they kind of tied stuff in to it. Like, it's like, yeah, he might not have been, or maybe he is going to be the mayor. I don't know. They don't really touch on that, but it's like, it was kind of funny where they hop on the boat and then they're going to, he's like, I don't live here in Wisconsin. I was like, oh, I was like, so they're kind of giving him his ties, but
yeah, I think it was just kind of like a nice ode, and kind of like what I'm seeing. Yeah, Spec is dead. I think Spec is dead in the form that just because something shows up in live action and the show is really good, which is what we're hearing across the MCU kind of timelines or whatever, it's not as of right now, it's not going into the ABC or the tier 4 like realm of first appearances or mentions and all that, which is fine. I mean, it was good times while we had it, but just don't go out. My point is just don't go out trying to buy like a first appearance of Nathaniel Richards 9.8 for $400, which is kind of what it was selling for back in the day. I do like the Mobius. I like that first appearance at 9.8 for $120. I think it's cool, but yeah, just it's the days of, oh, I'm gonna buy this book for $4 and sell for 30 raw, or I'm gonna flip this 9.8 that I bought for $2 in a dollar bin because they mentioned Home Dude in a really good show, and I'm gonna sell for 400. Those days are no longer for now. It was a good time though. But if you are like a collector, just to like I was like, dude, I pay $10 for a nice clean copy of that first Nathaniel Richards. I think he's a cool character. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but just don't assume that you're gonna make a ton of dough off of it. And yeah. And one more kind of announcement real quick. I don't know if the OTR crew is in here. They're probably not. I'll share my oops, hold on.
God, the one thing that bugs me about Loki though is like the first season I was like, oh, it's cool, like it's a female Loki, Sylvie. Like this season I'm just like, kill that bitch. like she needs to go. She's the worst character on the show. It's like all she does is mess things up.
Yeah, dude, she's kind of annoying. I'll be honest. Hold on, let me get this. I don't have them. Anyway, I can't find them, but we are gonna do a show, the old OTR. We're all gonna do just for now. We're gonna do a Thursday night show. 78 points will be there. I don't know if Ralph's gonna come out. Hopefully, Marcus and hopefully Vinny will be there as well, but I'm pretty sure they will be. They said they were in. But we're gonna try a new format. Trey's not gonna be joining us, unfortunately. He just has a lot of stuff going on personally and all that, and you kind of want to take a break from it, everything, and respect to him. But if you guys aren't joined in our Discord, hit me up. We're gonna try. I think we're at 70 now, almost 100. So we just restarted about a couple weeks ago. It is the nameless server, so don't think it's spam. It's an actual real kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know what we'll do to grow that, but it's kind of the old OTR server, anew, and we're just trying to restart it. A lot of the old people are from there. We don't have a political section anymore, which I think was kind of one of the reasons we shut it down. But it's just gonna be back to comics collecting and just kind of like positive, all that good stuff. So anyway.
Whoa, no politics.
I know. It's like the favorite thing to talk about Thanksgiving.
I'm out. Yeah. Sorry.
I'm out. Jason likes to talk about
at Thanksgiving dinner.
I mean, seriously, right? Okay, so I asked Jason, kind of like, hey man, like what are you looking into? Like, what would you, like, again, it's just kind of like old, times are kind of tough for just the market in general. Food's getting a little more expensive. I keep saying this over and over again, inflation, all that stuff. People don't have money to throw away at stuff. And Destiny, say hi. Everyone's saying hi to you. Destiny, say hi. Everyone say hi to Destiny. I think there's still a market for comic books, of course. I mean, I'll just show you what I bought here. Well, we'll do that at the end. But there's deals out there. I would say the definite bottom of the market up to this date was August. I saw a lot of August sales, whether that be graded comic books, raw, whatsoever. Just books that I was looking at were like super, super low. Can you recall a time where you just had a lot of like really good deals that you found in comic books this past year?
Yeah. I mean, the last 4 books I got, so I haven't been buying a whole lot, but I just had all these come in. I got Howard the Duck #1, like in a clean
Mhm.
copy. Got ASM 315 in a very clean copy.
Well, that's cool.
Old school Green Lantern, first Neil Adams art on Green Lantern.
Hmm.
And this, like, very, very clean copy.
Very nice.
For all that was like $50 or less.
See, I mean, and that was Whatnot, eBay. What was that?
eBay.
Oh, cool. So I feel like
I got
across the
one book
board.
off of, or 2 books off, or no, one off of Whatnot.
So is Whatnot coming down a bit for you?
I literally only watch like one show on Whatnot now, and it's like usually Saturday nights is the only time it's on.
Ah, okay. So yeah,
And
I mean, I
didn't
think
watch it last night. I was so busy doing other stuff.
yeah. I just think there's like opportunities out there, right? Of course, like what I was alluding to earlier was like, don't try and go too crazy on like tier 3 appearances because even if the new show's coming out, it's not really moving the needle. When Loki, I mean, is like, I feel like such an underrated show. And I think across the board, like people like it, so that's really helping the show, but it's not really helping comic books. So I was just kind of like, well, what if I had like $1,000 to like just buy up something? Or what if I just felt inclined to spend $1,000? Whether I just wanted the book and it was like $2,500 for the longest time, now it's down to $1,000, or I think it's a buying opportunity and I could flip it a year from now and hold on to it and wanted my $1,000 in that. We'll also look at some Halloween horror type collectibles in this market report as well. Again, I just want to thank, we're 16 minutes in. I just want to thank everyone for joining us today during football. We got 8 live. Please hit that like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're at 383 subscribers since we started this thing in January. So, again, I just love the support, everyone.
That's mostly because of you. That's your Pokemon.
My Pokemon
pack opening. Gotta catch 'em all.
Pokemon. You love them. You love them. I mean, you love them.
I'm just glad that I finally get to watch my Halloween movie soon.
Yeah, seriously, dude.
I know people have been watching them, but I've got like a specific one that I watch like every Halloween.
Oh, before I get in the list, what is it?
Oh, well, since you asked. Boop. Young Frankenstein. It's not even a horror movie, but it is my fucking favorite like movie.
It's a good
on Halloween.
Yeah, I dig that, man, for sure.
Old Mel Brooks, gotta love it.
I'll show you. We'll talk about my favorite horror movie to watch during Halloween. It's not necessarily Halloween, but horror. So, in the beginning of the chat, our good friend 78 nabbed this book, An Evil Ernie 2 and 9.6, first cover of Lady Death and second appearance of Lady Death. But Evil Ernie #1 is her first appearance, but this is the second appearance. But a lot of people get this book because of the cover, obviously. Eternity Comics, Brian Pulido, all that good stuff. This sold in September for under $1,100 and 9.8. And I don't know if that's 78 points buy, but he got 9.6 for $296 this past week. 9.6s across the board. Everybody's trying to either hold a 9.6 because of the disparity between 98 and 9.6, or crack it open and hope for a 9.8. That's a little risky, but is what it is.
I just think that the market is so crazy for like you're talking about the difference of like maybe like a single spine tick that's causing you to go to a 9.6, and people are like, drop it. Look at that. Look at the like $800. It almost drops in price. I'm like, that is stupid.
Yeah. Okay. So to kind of be the other side of that coin, right? Like, okay, so when you submit comic books, right? How sad do you get when you get like, let's say you submit 10 and you get 8 9.6s and 2 9.8s? Like how personally upset are you? Not so much market wise, but just internally, like how upset are you?
Oh, like it's like I'm walking on the face of the sun.
Yeah. So and dude, man, like I agree with you too.
My worst is that they give you a 9.6 with no grader's notes. You're like, why is it a 9.6? Tell me why it is a 9.6 and not a 9.8. Like, go the extra mile.
No, I mean, yeah, and I agree with you, man. Like,
Fedora never got a link.
I thought I sent it to him, but here, let me get him in there.
Sorry,
dude.
I happen to look down. I have to look down at my phone for the chat because it won't show up here anymore.
Oh, my bad.
I look down and Fedora's like, I don't got a link.
I just sent you a link on Instagram. I thought I sent him. It was the old link I sent him on Friday. So yeah. So I guess like it's opportunity knocks, right? If you don't care, if you just want like a high grade and like you don't want to pay the extra $1,000, then you're in a good place. But dude, I want to like fly to Florida and like choke the person that graded my book. I'm not going to do that, but that's the feeling I get too, right? So it makes sense that the disparity is there, I think, just with like fatigue. And then like the assumption, right, is that there's not as many 9.8s as 9.6s. So the supply and demand.
Like in half of it, it's like, I'm like, do they just want me to like resubmit my book so that I can get the 9.8?
You know what's even more freaking upsetting? Resubmitting a 9.6 and getting the same grade or getting a lower grade.
Yeah.
Right?
You're like, what? Who is looking at my books?
I know. And I don't like, dude, lately, like just like for everyone that's submitting right now, like be picky, man, because like they are grading so hard on books. It's really tough. I don't know what happened. But I'm not submitting as much as I used to anyway. So I'm submitting more video games, and I don't really care about the grades on those because I want to display them as kind of like a trophy for myself. But anyway, on to the next slide. Evil Ernie 2, first cover and second appearance of Lady Death.
Is this the Lady Death that, like, I'm fractured here? Is this the Lady Death that eventually appears in Marvel as Deadpool's love interest, or because I know that that's like like Lady Death is like his jam.
No, this is like the Lady Death from like when we were like in high school. Yeah. Do you remember those Chaos Comics? Remember that? Remember that publisher? Yeah, it's that Lady Death. And she's never been like optioned or like, oh, she's gonna get optioned or like they're gonna make a movie or like there's a new series. She's just been one of those characters from like that femme fatale like time in the 90s that just has held value, but hasn't really like gone up super huge or whatever. So Jason, I'm sure you know this. Oh, Dante Foreman to score a touchdown. Woohoo. Caliber presents number 1, the first Crow Yo. Horrible cover. Raw sale this past Friday went for $400, kind of near mint or whatever. CGC 9.2, kind of a comparison there, went for $415 a couple weeks ago. I would definitely, if I was a Crow fan, especially with the coverage, this is not a fun cover. I would definitely think about spending $400 on a 9.2, maybe resubbing it, risking that 9.0, but there's not that much of a difference between the 9.2 and 9.0. Anyway, man, what do you think of this? And then B, like, do you think that's a good price?
Yeah, I mean the covers, it's okay. It reminds me of like a weird, almost fantasy take on a Conan cover.
Yeah. It looks like a Dungeons and Dragons like quarterly magazine.
Like, is this what the Bill Skarsgård Crow is gonna look like?
Oh yeah, dude. What is that?
Like, that depresses me though. Like I was thinking about that the other day, and I said it to somebody. I was like, you know what? It's sad is that there's going to be a whole generation of kids now that grow up, and Brandon Lee's not going to be their Crow. Yeah. They're going to know it as like freaking Pennywise, old googly-eyed Pennywise.
What's up, Soupy? And Toon, thanks for joining the chat. Yeah, dude. I've never been like a big like, oh man, I had to have this book. I'm not a huge Crow fan, like honestly, but respect to like, you know, the market, and I think this is pretty, like that's a pretty good opportunity, right? Especially with like the movie coming out and all that. But like there's always just like a weird cult following with the Crow. I feel.
And it's weird too because like I got into the Crow movie not because I liked the movie first off. I was into the soundtrack and then got into the movie because of the soundtrack, because they had a lot of bands that I listened to on that soundtrack. Like Nine Inch Nails and Helmet and The Cure and freaking
The Cure.
Rage Against the Machine, and there's just a lot of bands that they had on that soundtrack that got me into the movie, and then I started watching the movie a lot more because of the soundtrack.
Yeah, right. Yeah. What's up, Fedora? What's going on, man? God damn it. All right. Go on to the next slide. A little modern stuff for you. Deadpool 1, Elsa variant with Jeff the Land Shark. This is a hard to find book. This is not there wasn't like a trade. There wasn't like a trade in the version copy of this. This is the only image I could find. But this is a pretty cool comic book, man.
How much is that?
Well, last week it sold for $68 raw, and a
nice
went for $128. This book was like pretty high though. It was like I want to say it was like triple digits raw, also grade. I remember seeing this go for like 350, 9.8 a while back. I don't have specific like numbers on that, but I feel like the Elsa Bloodstone kind of like popularity has kind of dipped down a little bit. In my opinion, I haven't seen her really anywhere. And like, dude, do you guys know when is there a new Marvel Halloween special?
Yeah, you know what's so crazy?
What's that?
There's a new one, but they're gonna recolor it. But you know what's so crazy? My friend of mine who's a customer at the shop that I go to, he stopped by and he was telling me at Comic-Con he bought the first Gambit, the first Elsa, and the first Sentry for $300 off of one seller. And he was saying that they were all near mint.
Wow, that's a nice buy. That's a nice pickup. Sounds like a Doc Joe pickup right there.
That I was like, "There's no way," and he was like, "Yeah, man." Like, he was the guy that I connected with my cousin to sell him the 1 in 50 miles number 1.
Mm-hmm.
So I listened. I don't know what kind of like magic he got, but. He just gets these deals, man, and that was like an insane deal. And this was like at Comic-Con, and it's hard to like haggle with these people.
Right? I bet you.
Yeah, like
right for sure.
Yeah, and everybody just wants to overprice books, but I'm thinking like at this landscape where NYCC is so competitive, and you got like all these guys trying to sell these books. So I'm wondering if they're just like, yo, I just want to make the money. Because the booth space is like too much money, I would assume. So these guys are just trying to like whatever deal they could get, they're probably just taking. That's my theory. But anyway, back to you.
No, you're good, man. That's good feedback because, like, I mean, literally, we're just talking. I mean, like, obviously, we've been talking about the market and just how depressed it is, but I haven't heard like this is just like data I find on eBay or just like. Whatnot sales from whoever. But yeah, Jason, like how hard is it to freaking haggle like when we go to like cons together? Like
what was that? The last one we went to what was that? SummerCon?
Yeah.
I didn't even like look at books. Like I was interested with it. I was just wandering around seeing all the cool stuff. But I think I also had my heart set on finding a cool anime t-shirt, which didn't happen.
Oh yeah, dude. And I was actually more fixated with like video games and toys at that con.
I got a T-shirt for you. You can buy it. I helped with the designing of it, so I'll mess. They never gave me a copy, even though I was a part of the team that did the. It was whatever, but I'll message it to you, Jason. It's a sick shirt.
That's cool.
They played me.
They played you.
Be like, send me 2.
They didn't even send me. It was weird because they used to send me like a lot of like anime merchandise, but the one thing that they approved that was my idea, they never sent it to me. So I was just so baffled by that.
Like what? It's like you took my idea and ran with it, but I don't get nothing.
Yeah, bro, and they still restock it. Like it's actually still selling well, and I'm just like what? I'm probably just gonna buy my own shirt. Like, all right. But I'll send you the link, Jason. Anyway.
All right.
No, you're good, man. Next, this isn't really. It's just for fun. I remember I rented this game, dude, back in the day when I was a kid. Hollywood Video, Jason. Hollywood Video.
Hollywood Video.
Video had a way better selection than Blockbuster. I will die on a pillar, whatever the hell that saying is. Hollywood was way better than Blockbuster. It was bigger. It was the employees were way cuter. They had way cuter outfits. Jason knows what I'm talking about.
Hollywood Video was the reason why I watched Event Horizon for the first time. I went into the store to rent something, and they had Event Horizon playing on the TVs and stuff like that. And I'm like, "What is this?" And they're like, "Oh, you've never seen Event Horizon?" I'm like, "I will tonight now." Like,
yeah, I've never been to any of those like video chains, and so like I got maybe like towards like the tail end of like kind of Blockbuster when it was going down.
Yeah.
My neighbor, she worked at Blockbuster, and I had like a crush on her. So after school, me and my friends will go to her like Blockbuster job, and then we'd like just make noise. And that's when they were like trying to like do new things to bring people in. Like they had like a slushy machine, and they were turning it into and then they were turning it into a 7-Eleven. So she would let us bring like our own like water bottles and fill it up.
And fill them up with slushies. A slushy. Oh, syrup. Anyway, CIB went for 54.66 in 9.2.
That's too expensive.
I'm not recommending to buy this at all. This is just I was
curious. Cost like back in the day when it first came out.
I think it was
I don't remember what Super Nintendo games used to cost.
Dude, I don't remember either. Anyone in the chat, you guys remember? But dude, you know what I found that was kind of funny? You know the old. You remember like when you go to Toys R Us and you get like the little ticket, and then the guy you give it to the dude. I've talked about this on old stores before, or shows. But you give the ticket to the guy. He goes behind that magic closet and gets the video game for you and gives you your game.
Yeah.
Those tickets from Toys R Us go for like $25 to $50 online if it's like if it's like a marquee like video game. Is that crazy?
We should have kept some.
Man. I'm thinking, dude, okay, this is a crazy like kind of concept, right? I don't know if this is actually work. I don't know if you could actually do it, but you know, like when you go into like a Target or Toys R Us and you can buy the digital copy, but it's just like the digital piece of paper. What if you could just take those and not pay for them, but just take them and then like hold on to them for 10 years?
Like
I don't know if you could actually do it, but like, I don't know, weird shit that maybe worth something in 10 years. Anyway, one of my favorite movies for Halloween. So I kind of I couldn't find a comic book for this. So chat, I don't know if you guys, if there's an Addams Family like comic book out there, but there is a video game, 99 cents if you want the box only.
There was the Addams Family thing for Nintendo Power. I posted it in the Discord.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's still up there. I could probably go back and buy it.
I mean, you might as well, right? I mean, again, this is just more like this is just fandom. This isn't really like.
Yeah, I know, but I was like, it's crazy. We talking about Addams Family. I was thinking about that.
I didn't even see it, man.
I dug the spin-off too. Or the Wednesday show. I actually kind of liked that.
I never watched it.
It was solid. It was really good.
So it was darker than I thought it was going to be. Like, because the Addams Family was always dark, but they did it with like an air of light. Like this was just kind of more straight up dark with like a couple of just dark humor jokes in there.
Is there weird dances in it and shit? I always see like weird like Instagram videos of girls doing dances.
Oh yeah, her dance that she didn't want to do. Apparently the actress like didn't want to do the dance or something like that. Like she thought it was something or other, and then they put it in and it was a hit.
Well, there you go, America. Fright Night. I meant the autocorrect. I'm sorry. That's Fright Night number 3. And Joe just bought this in 9.8. I think I saw that, but I didn't post this because you posted that. Doc Joe's on like a freaking rampage of getting amazing books, not only at good prices, but in high grade back from CGC. Shout out to, I believe, Philip Chun. He's probably not in the chat today, but if you need books pressed, great customer service. He's thorough. He's inexpensive, and he's very communicative. Hit me up if you need books pressed. He's super cheap, and he took an 8.5 comic book from me and got a 9.6. So that's
what comic was that?
My Taskmaster 3, 1 in 25.
Nice. Now, how was it at 8? Where you buying it from?
I don't want. I don't even want to talk about it.
They
I
just-
told you there was a stain on the back, but fuck, I don't know, man.
They're just throwing shit around. Like what the?
8.5, 9.6.
Well, they have like a. What did I get? I got one back, and there's like, it was like I got a 6.0 or something like that, and they're like large stain across like back, blah blah blah, and I'm like looking at it, I'm like, what stain? I'm like, what are you seeing that I'm not?
They have like.
They
I
got
don't know.
microscopes, bro. They have fucking microscopes. Like they just seeing shit. You know what's so crazy? I'm about to go on another rant. So there's a customer, the same customer that got that amazing deal. He's such a great guy. He comes into the shop. He buys all the high value books, and then he like presses them, and then he just gives them away to people if they don't get the grade that he wants. Just gives them away. He gave a friend of mine the first Sinister, Mr. Sinister.
Mhm.
Like he was just giving shit away because he didn't get the grades that he want. But he comes in, he presses some of my books for free. He grades them for free, and he's just all around like a good guy. And so, but anyways, so he pressed 2 books for me, right? He pressed the Venom verse whatever Takashi Azuki book, and then that one got a 9.8, right?
Mhm.
And I can literally see the spine ticks in the thing.
Yeah.
Right? So I was just like, all right, like whatever. But then, and I have to bring this back up. When I look at my Wolverine 1, I cannot for the life of me find the mistake that like a 9.6, and it looks completely flawless. So I don't know. They got monkeys working there. Fucking monkeys, bro. Like they're not really paying attention. Yo, what up? Money. I don't have money. My phone bill is due next month. So I'm gonna pull up.
Can you guys see that?
See what?
I just highlighted something. Can you see that?
Your thing that says that's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It's saying that I have connectivity issues.
All right, but yeah, you can continue. That was my rant.
No, that's okay.
I saw someone I know.
I mean, I get at this point, like, here's the thing. Like, here's a disclaimer, and then I guess we'll just move on. If you're submitting, just go to a reputable presser that can handle it, has kind of a relationship with CGC. That might help you. At this point, you know, it's you just got to be careful. You just got to be really selective, I think. And you know, at the same time, like, you don't have to get pressed. You don't got to get graded. Jason and I were talking about 9.6s and 9.8 disparity, and that's just what the market is. So we got to live with it until said place, or take advantage of it and buy 9.6s. But back to this book here, Doc Joe was talking about has a population of 2 9.8s, which this book is from like the late 80s, so that makes perfect sense. I think it's an awesome cover. I'm not a Freddy Krueger fan. However, if I was, that's probably the comic book that I would want to buy. He said that this $1,550 this sale on 10/5, which is a couple weeks ago, and 9.8s can have spine ticks, by the way. Yeah, that is true. They do, and evidently color rub. They do allow color rub on some books. I know.
So
Darth
then,
Vader 3.
what are we doing?
All right, we're not gonna talk about it anymore, man. 'Cause I'm sick of this. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Like, I've heard it from everyone, not just us. It's like, let's just move on. It's all good. All right. So, and there's a book you can buy from CGC to explain what they grade on. If you want to do some more research, buy the book. But
if you want to do more research, give them more money.
You can do that too. So anyway,
slip a friggin' $100 bill in with your books. Be like, hey,
yeah,
that's where it's getting now.
I mean,
it's like tipping the bouncer to get in.
Hey man, you know, if you want to get in, you got to the bouncer, right? So anyway, so back to the market here. I did see a 9.4 sale last month for $550. I think that's a pretty strong book, obviously, because like there's only 2 9.8s out there. So I think that 9.8 $1,550, if you're a collector, is a pretty good deal.
They had what's it called? And like Freddy was like the out of all the horror movies that I used to watch as a kid, like Nightmare on Elm Street was the first one that like creeped me out. But it wasn't even the first Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, I loved that movie. It was Nightmare on Elm Street 2. And it was like, it ruined sleepovers for me. Like, in that one in particular, Freddy would like, Homedy would fall asleep, and then Freddy would like take over his body and like come out of it and then kill whoever was there. So like I was always just like mm-mm. It's like I ain't fucking sleeping with you, man. Like I'm not trying to get sliced up while I'm sleeping.
Fedora, was Freddy too old for you, like when you were growing up, or was that one of your staples when you were?
No, I didn't really care about it. I know like my dad bought the VHS box set. He had like Cranky Kong, like the he had like the VHS special edition box set that came out, and it was like super expensive at that time.
Yeah.
And me and my cousins watched all the movies, and I've only ever watched them all once. But we watched them in a row, and I remember Dream Warriors being the one that I liked the most.
That was a tight one, dude. Dream Warriors is tight.
Yeah,
but
so
they had the fucking like
that was number 4, right? Wasn't that the one with what's her face?
I think so.
The Arquette, the blonde.
Yeah. And they had like that was a good one, man, because they got to fight back.
Yeah, that's why. And then there was like the punk chick with the switchblades who got mopped, and I was like, that was anticlimactic.
Well, and then Freddy's Dead, like the final one or whatever, that was like one of the first like 3D ones. Remember that? Like in the theater, there was like a point where they put the 3D glasses on, and you were supposed to put it on. And then, again, his head
so the thing with that was that the box set came with 3D glasses, and me and my cousins put the VHS in, and we kept replaying the 3D part, and we were like, where's the 3D? Like there was no, like we got flim-flammed.
I remember somebody saw it in the theater, and they were like, man, it's almost like his head flies off the screen into your bucket of popcorn. And then I watched it, and I was like, what are you talking about, dude? I was like, it hurt my head. Like, I don't know.
I hate fucking 3D movies, man. I like my nose gets hella itchy, or like I'll do the like, with the glasses. I gotta put the
glasses over my glasses too, so it's just like I'm not trying to wear 2 pairs of glasses.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
3D movies used to be like a thing, like when the technology first became crazy, like in like the early 2010s. But now like 3D movies are like, I don't even go anymore.
Yeah.
No,
me either, man. I won't spend the extra money. We were just talking about this a couple minutes ago. Shout out Hollywood Video. Event Horizon, probably one of my top 3, I would say. Yeah, top 3 horror movies ever. Not my most favorite, but my buddy Trey, Jason knows who he is. We went to college together. This was like our movie we used to like watch back in the day in college in the fraternity. But so this will always have a soft spot in my heart. This is the Event Horizon 4K Special Edition for all you nerds out there. And yes, Kingdom of Nerds, Event Horizon is awesome. Yes, Event Horizon is an amazing movie. But
I have no idea what that movie is.
So the premise of it is the Event Horizon is a spaceship, and it needs to be rescued. There's like a distress signal, and so a team goes out to rescue this spaceship. So it's obviously future sci-fi and all this stuff.
It's very alien based in its story up into the point where you actually get into the movie.
yeah, it's totally like, oh, this is gonna be like aliens in space. No, it's totally not. I'll leave it at that. It's not. It's creepy because you have the stigma of space and horror. And like, I mean, space is scary as hell anyway. Like, I would never want to go in space. You know what I mean? But it ties in enough of that stigma of like, or the terrors of space and like hell together. Anyway,
because that was Sam Neill and Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, it's been a while since I've watched it.
Who do you think is cooler, Lawrence Fishburne or Forrest Whitaker?
Lawrence Fishburne, Othello. I mean, he sold me an Othello. So yeah.
If you had to pick one for a movie,
Lawrence Fishburne.
I would probably pick Forrest Whitaker because he has like the crazy eye.
Jason, what would you pick?
I don't. Well, I guess it kind of depends, like, because they're so different as far as their acting styles and what they were in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would say Forrest Whitaker's probably a better actor, like overall.
Oh yeah.
Versus Lawrence Fishburne, because his part, like Lawrence Fishburne plays well. I guess it kind of depends on the movie. I would probably go Forrest Whitaker, but that's just because I feel like he would be able to, depending on the role, he'd be able to adapt a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not like
there's a kid playing with a tire and garbage.
He goes, "There's a kid playing with a tire and a garbage."
That's some like 1920s Great Depression shit. Like,
around with a stick.
That's awesome. Anyway, if you want this special edition, it's $75 in like 4K Blu-ray, that type of deal. But you can rent this. I recommend definitely if you haven't seen this movie, and it looks like some people in the chat and Jason and myself really like this movie. So if you want a good sci-fi flick to watch for the holidays, get into it. We're almost done with our show today, guys. I got 3 more slides left. Again, just want to say thanks everyone for watching. I'll do a giveaway at the end. 6 Live. Please hit like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell your friends, all that. We're almost at 400 subscribers, so I appreciate everyone's support. This last segment's going to kind of go into, sorry, Fedora, I meant to ask you, but I ran out of time this weekend. But to kind of fill up the rest of our show, I asked Jason like what he would spend $1,000 on in this market, and I'm going to go first. So first, I got Last Ronin #1, the Bartling Full Metal. Hate me all you want.
No, that's good. That's good.
I think shout out to Hive Comics. They did a really good job on this book. It's probably the only book I would ever buy from them, just because they're so expensive. But I remember this book was like selling for $50. They were selling this book for $50. I didn't know about it until it actually came out like to print, and it was one of the books that I remember just being like, holy cow, this comic market, there's something real here. Or, you know, I don't know if it'll last, but whatever. Anyway, this being an oversized comic book, I feel like it just presents so well. And when I was thinking like, oh, if I'm going to spend $1,000 on something, I want like a good return, or I want to be able to display it and like talk about it with people that just come by my house. And I just feel like if this was like, you know, if this was at my house in the living room or wherever it's going to be, everyone would know what this piece is, right? Because it's Ninja Turtles. But they'd probably be like, oh man, I never seen that art before. It's like, where'd you get that? So I just felt like that was kind of a cool thing to see. This book hasn't gone down in price that much. I've been watching this book forever. Raws were going for like 1,000 out the gate. It's actually dipped down. A majority of these books have been graded because it is a metal cover, but the low I saw was like 500. I saw a recent sale for $1,000. The mids, like that's not even really close, but I feel like if I was gonna buy this book, I'd want it slabbed and signed by like either Eastman or Aaron Bartling, who's really cool on Instagram, by the way. Jason, do you know this book? And what are your thoughts on spending $1,000 and 9.8 for this book?
This is actually the first time I've seen that book. I dig the cover. I'm just my first thing was when I was like looking at it and you were talking, I'm just like staring at the ghosts and I'm like, why are we just assuming that the turtles' ghosts are going to be green? What if they were like purple?
Yeah, that's a great they know to SS books.
I mean, I could tell you what I'd spend $1,000 on.
Okay, yeah, well, we'll pause on mine.
Okay.
What you got, Doc? Yeah.
A high grade copy of Iron Fist 14. What the hell is going on here? There's people like doing push-ups off of cars with no shirts on.
It's probably a CrossFit class.
Oh God. But I would spend $1,000 on a
Jason's laughing
on a high grade copy of Iron Fist 14.
That's dope. First Sabretooth. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I think you know, with X-Men, you know, obviously on the horizon, that's like a really huge property, and that's what everybody's honking at these people. Anyways, and I just think that like Sabretooth is like, if X-Men does come to the big screen, Wolverine is obviously going to be at the forefront of that at some point, you know. Right. So you can't have Wolverine without Sabretooth, and Sabretooth is obviously going to be, you know, one of the main antagonists to the MCU. So I think that like if I could get like a high grade copy of that,
Yeah.
and when the X-Men comes and Sabretooth blows up, you know, like there's no downside once the X-Men arrive, you know, unless the movies are bad. But
cool. I like it, man. So Jason, have you read this book series, Last Ronin?
I have not.
Oh shit. Okay.
Jason, what is wrong with you, bro? What is wrong with you, bro?
I've actually never read any of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like series in general.
Oh my god, bro.
Jason, you'd like it, dude. I'm like 95 through 120 was a fun run. You know what's tough about independent stuff is that you can't buy it digital for less than what Marvel and DC does. So like for me, like if I'm gonna buy an independent book, I have to really like it because that's an extra like $4 a month. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but like, you know, just thinking of right. So that's probably why you don't read a lot of like indies, right, Jason?
For the most, I mean, people have to like really like recommend an indie for me to go out and pick it up too. Like, just because, I mean, for me, I'm more or less thinking like I don't want to start something that is that I don't know if they're actually going to finish it. Is half the battle with me on indies, because it's like they'll start it and then I'll get into it and then like 3 books in they just kill it. And I'm like, okay, well, what did I waste my time for doing that?
Yeah, no. That
happens a lot.
Yeah, and if you guys are wanting indie to read, The Devil Inside Me, right? Or The Devil, what's the name of it?
The Devil That Wears My Face.
The Devil That Wears My Face. I'm gonna plug this real quick. The Devil That Wears My Face. This book, I just read it off of Fedora's actually recommendation, which is why I appreciate his support and all that good stuff. I think you can buy this in Midtown right now online. I couldn't find it at any LCS that I went to because it's just not under ordered. But dude, this is a really good horror book. I really dug it. Very different concept.
I'm gonna hit you with another one.
I appreciate you, dog.
I'm gonna hit you with another one. Beneath the trees where nobody sees. Where nobody sees.
Beneath.
That's. I bought the I bought all the covers and the Virgin variant.
Does it have to do with teddy bears?
But you see the bag that he's dragging.
Yeah, I see that.
There's an unalived body in there.
Jesus.
And it's about the bears. I was like, you said the name of it, and I was like the old song, like beneath the trees where nobody sees the laugh.
Yeah. So it's kind of got like a Bernstein Bears. It's kind of like got a Bernstein Bears art aesthetic to it, but it's like the bear is a murderer essentially, and the main bear is just unaliving people, and you know, so the whole story is about this bear just mopping people, and there's a twist at the end, but you guys got to read it. Trust me. Like even people on it was really good. People on CBSI were like on the Facebook group, like, is this did anybody buy this book? And apparently not many shops got it.
Fuck. Okay, cool, man. Thanks, man.
So check that one out.
We'll check it out. I'll put it in the Discord too. Thanks, man. And then my last, if I had $1,000, I saw this recently in this X23 1 in 50 Jurdevic variant. I'm sure my boy Doc Joe knows about this book. This does not.
Why people love that guy so much?
I love the cover, man, and this is pretty rare. I think 2011 is when this book came out, so it's
okay. 1 in 50s in 2011. That was like that was that thing.
That range of comics, dude, like they're all insanely expensive. So, $1,000 is pretty rich, but the past recent sales for this book, like nobody's giving up a high grade or even a raw high grade for less than 1,000. I never see this like at auction, but this one actually. Oh, Doc Joe, I wonder if you're on the hunt for this one. Just curious, but I saw one 9.6 go for $1,100, like and a 9.8 on I think Elite Comics are asking like $4,000 for this book. I mean, she hasn't even been to the MCU yet. There's no
get the hell out of
or whatever. But
$4,000, get the hell out of here. freaking
Yeah, I don't know if it could go for $4,000. I mean, there's so many other books you
smoking
can get,
crack up your ass.
But dude, if you
can get way better older X-Men.
Yeah. But dude, if you could get this a 9.6 and get a 9.8, dude, you made money, right? So that was my assumption on this one. Let's get into Jason's picks here. Jason, let's talk about Uncanny. You meant Uncanny X-Men 58, not X-Men 58, right? Just kidding.
Yeah, first appearance of like Havoc in costume.
Yeah.
I just really like that. Like that's just a cover that I've always dug, and it's like super hard to find like in high grade too. Like even if you're like buying online, like it's rare to come across like even something in the 9s.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't find a 9.8 recent sale on this book. I had to go to cover price, but I didn't want to list it. Because I obviously like I think a 6.5 went for $180. So I'm just like, man, 9.8s are gonna be pretty like huge. That cover's pretty cool too, man. I dig that cover, man. Oh, Michael Baker asked, is that a Neil Adams cover on X-Men 58? You know?
I believe so, actually.
Okay. Fedora, you ever seen this pop in any Midtown stores?
No, I haven't. No, we don't. That one's pretty rare. We get like a lot of X-Men. We get like 12 centers. Like I think we got like some early. We got X-Men #2.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and then we got the first appearance of Juggernaut and the second appearance of Juggernaut.
Mm-hmm.
But this one I've never, and we get a lot of X-Men. So just to kind of put it into perspective, that this book might be like kind of hard to find.
Yeah. No, I bet, man. I've never seen this. Jason, I never even see this in that Ballard shop that we go to.
I know, like it's super hard to find. Yes, it is Neil Adams.
Oh, okay.
Look it up.
Right.
I was like, I'm pretty sure, but I don't want to say yes without looking.
You see, that's probably another factor as to why it's like so hard to find, because the people that have it know it's hard to find. It's Neil Adams. It's the first Havoc.
Tough high grade. It's an older book.
Yeah.
It's a 100s Uncanny X-Men, that kind of thing, right? So that's cool, man. I like that with you when I was looking up I've never seen this cover before, and I've never thought about like getting the first Havoc. When I was looking up the cover, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool cover, man. For an old school like Adams, right?
Yeah, and it's like pre-new X-Men too. It's still got the classic team on it, like if that's your thing. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's pre. What was that? Was that 100 that they switched over to their new stuff? I think.
Yeah.
Because 101 was the first Phoenix, I believe.
Yeah. And your other pick, man, I thought this was a great pick for a modern, kind of rare book. Before we get into it real quick though, Fedora, have you seen this book? Have you had this book before?
Me?
Fedora.
No, I don't have that. I think it's like the only book I don't have, because I have like mostly every Spawn, but I don't have that one.
Yeah,
I seen this at a shop in Brooklyn, and it was near Mint, and they were asking for like 175, 200 for it. And then in Midtown Comics, we had gotten literally somebody had bought 2 books off the wall. Mm-hmm. And then we took out the ladder, and then we went to when we went to put it up, we were putting up a World War II Spawn, the first World War II Spawn, near Mint, $85. I think that was the price. And then as the guy was getting down off the ladder, somebody was like, yo, can I buy that? And then he had to literally go back up the ladder. So no time in between.
He's like, I only go up once a day. You only get one ladder a day.
Yeah. So I think like there's a lot of hardcore Spawn collectors out there, and then there's people that just come into Midtown Comics specifically just to look for Spawn back issues. Yeah. So we get a lot of like really good Spawn books, but that one in particular, I have not seen it. We haven't. It has not come through. And our store is the one that we have all the high value back issues. So I see like all of the, mainly like I know everything that we're gonna get. So I've never seen it, and I've never even seen it in the other location in Queens where there's more high value books.
Yeah.
So just to put it in perspective, the people that are selling us the Spawn books, The people that are selling us the Spawn books, they're holding on to this one. They're probably just giving everything and then
Except
just
for
taking out that one because they know, because there's no way, because we keep bringing in like complete Spawn runs, right? But I never see that book, never.
Yeah.
And you know, they got guys that go out to different states and they're buying out collections, and they're always buying Spawn because we know that like people come to look. That's like a Spawn back issues. I would say that's like one of the number one things that people come to the shop to look for. That's like top 5. It's Spider-Man, Spawn, Hulk, and Batman. So those are like tourists, hardcore collectors, kids, people just looking for gifts. Those are like the top characters. So the fact that we're always replenishing our Spawn stock so much and we still haven't gotten that book tells me that like people are holding on to this book just because they know it's high value.
That's really good. That's a really good perspective, man. I didn't even think of that really. That's really I mean, it's so yeah, if you got it, Doc Joe's got one. He used to have multiple of this book, but I think it's a dope cover. I always forget. Jason, do you know who did the cover on this?
I know.
There's that Jason Shaw Alexander, maybe.
I feel like I know 175,
I could be wrong.
which is like I put this one down, but 175 I personally like better. Like that's my favorite cover out of the two. But it's like for whatever reason, if you look up 175, like especially if you're looking on eBay, it always has this book with it. It's never by itself. It's like, oh, you got to buy both, and I'm like, I don't want both necessarily. It's not. But I feel like that one was done by Bagley. 175 maybe.
It's a sick cover, man. Or though, I mean, both covers were amazing. I like this one because it gives me like those. Okay, this is really this is like a throwback. Do you guys remember the video game Ghouls and Ghosts from Super Nintendo? On that cover, you know what I'm talking about, Jason?
Played the OG like Nintendo one.
Yeah. So you remember how like the cover is like he's in a graveyard, like there's like crosses and stuff. I feel like that this. So it's this. I don't know. It's a random thing, but it reminds me of this cover, and so I gravitate more towards this cover. However, I know people like guns and. Am I doing this right? Anyway, I know people like the 175 cover a little better, but I like this cover.
People even like the Spawn 309 cover. That one goes for a little bit in 9.8.
Yeah, 309 too. Yeah, I'm not a big Spawn like I have Spawn 1. It's like a grail of mine, but it just brings me back to that time when I got 7-Eleven. But what else? Anything else you want to talk about this book, Jason?
Well, now because I was like curious, I forgot who had done the cover. It's Greg Capullo or Capullo.
Oh, Capullo. Duh. Okay.
I knew it was one of those guys. Greg Capullo, Jason Shaw, whatever. Like one of those guys.
Yeah.
But it's like while I was looking that up, they kind of talk about it here. Apparently, there was only just under 23,000 copies of this book made, which makes it, I guess, probably why it's harder to find. But also, apparently, Spawn is misspelled on the spine of like all of them.
How's it
spelled?
I
was like, well, it's got a couple things going for it that make it like a little bit more rare, harder to find, etc.
Yeah.
There's also one Spawn book where Todd McFarlane didn't sign his signature on it.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe Doc Joe knows what issue that is, but because McFarlane, for every cover he did, he puts his name on it. And then there was one cover in particular he didn't sign Todd McFarlane.
Huh.
So I'm wondering if you get him to sign it. There you go. Yeah, see? Yeah.
Hey.
The encyclopedia of Spawn in the building. But so I'm wondering with that one. And then there's another one where apparently Todd didn't pay one of his I think Matrix Comics was talking about this. Mm-hmm. Somebody was talking about this where he didn't pay the guy. So when you get him to sign the Spider-Man book that Todd did, he said he writes Todd owes me money on it. So that's like his signature. He put Todd owes me money. So I wanted to know if You get Todd McFarlane's signature, boom,
he's not gonna
on it, and then hold on, you got to get Todd's signature first. You get Todd's signatures first, and then you go to this guy and then say, please put Todd owes me money on it. And then put Todd owes me money right under it with his signature, CGC, boom, easy premium. Yo, easy premium, bro.
Oh, dude.
Listen, I'm crazy enough to try and do that. I'm crazy enough to.
It won't hurt. I mean, the worst he's gonna say is, "No, I can't do that." You know, but
I'd be like, bro, but you got Todd's definitely not gonna like. You got to do Todd first. Don't even let him know. Then
it'd be
you
cooler if it'd be a lot cooler if you went up to Todd and showed him that, and Tom was like, "All right," and he fucking signs it.
That would be insane, but that'll never happen.
Yeah, I know.
Todd doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would agree to that.
No, that guy's the Michael Jordan of comics, man. Yeah.
He's yeah. But would that be like crazy? Like to have like
funny
comic book beef sitting on a signature. That would be the first appearance of comic book beef. Yeah, on a comic between creators.
Man, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man. This is again, you know, we're gonna have Major Comics on, but he couldn't make it today. Yeah, he had.
He's famous now. He's famous now.
Yeah.
He's on the Key Collector.
I mean, he's been on Key Collector for a while. He's like their Halloween contributor, dude. So he said he would come back.
We gotta find our own. We gotta get our own spot on Key Collector. I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. I use Key Collector just for reference. I don't really go off the prices and stuff. It's a fun app. You know, take wherever it is. But
I use Key Collector just to see like kind of like what's coming out, because I like. Yeah, because I used to use that Comic Book Roundup just to see like what are some of the high reviewed comics, you know, just to get like a synopsis of what's coming out. But I think Key Collector is like easier.
Yeah.
Just because of the sense where you could kind of just get the synopsis of like what's going on and what are the quote unquote keys of the week, you know, and what people are looking at.
I think Jason and I are looking at our fantasy stats, so I think it's about
not
time.
Fantasy stats. I was just looking at the scores. I was like, oh my god, Baltimore's destroying the Lions right now. It's like 28-0.
Serious?
Like,
god damn it! I should start their defense.
Yo, Jason, my favorite football teams. You ready for this?
Yeah.
The 96 Jets and the 2008 Detroit Lions.
2008.
Oh my god!
Was that
the 0-16? Isn't that the 0-16 one?
Yeah, they were unstoppable. They were unstoppable. And the 96 Jets. I saw my stepfather cry many times in 1996 for the Jets.
That's hilarious. So I'm gonna do a little something different with the giveaway today. So Jason, myself, Fedora, we all chose our favorite comic books we would choose if we had $1,000. So in the chat, if you want the DVD and the comic book we give away today for free, state what comic book you'd buy for $1,000, and we will, or Jason will choose the best answer, who I will send the comic books to.
Jason. Because of Jason, bro.
Pickles. Since Pickles has been gone for a while, I'm going to give him the opportunity to choose the best answer.
Gone for a while? What are you talking about?
Yeah, you've been gone for like a week. Okay.
That was only because you did the show Friday last week, and I was at work.
I know.
We've done 3 shows in the last time.
I was gone last Sunday. I was at a CiderCon. I got so fucking drunk. I puked my guts out, man. Dude, I probably drank about like a gallon of cider. I'm not a cider guy either. But we were in Corvallis. It was a good time. Dude, Jason, you should go next year, man. It was pretty fun. It was like we got free booze, free food, like free stuff. It was pretty cool, man.
You had me at free.
We had to pay for a hotel, but like, you know, like we stopped by In-N-Out. You know, we don't have In-N-Out in Washington. That was kind of cool.
Are you coming to New York with Vinny?
Vinny's from Atlanta, so I mean, probably not. Like, we probably wouldn't do that.
My man's Vinny he He was in New York and he didn't even hit up. So yo, because they have like a signed Kojima PS3 at that place.
Really?
And
it-
nobody is. It's been there for years, and it's for sale, bro. It's for just talk to the guy that owns it. Like it's for sale. That's why I was just like, I'm surprised that he didn't go. You know, he doesn't even know about the shop because that's like a pretty big one for retro games.
Yeah.
So I was like,
he
really?
was in town for NYCC when he was selling his comic book. So
Yeah, but NYCC, that's like for mooks now. You know what I mean? No disrespect to the people that go to NYCC, but
I mean, okay, Jason. Here's the first choice for 1K. I'd buy X-Men 11, the second print, Pressman variant, silver and cover.
damn, that's crazy. I don't even know what the hell that is, but that sounds intense.
It's like Wolverine, right? I think. Doc Joe says Sonic the Hedgehog 98 in 9.8, but don't choose me.
Is that the first?
So right now it's
is that the first appearance of Shadow?
I think so.
Shadow
The Archie, right? That's got to be. Yeah.
Archie, Sonic the Hedgehog, issue 98. I guess so. Spawn. That Spawn 7 signed. First Knuckles. He said, yeah, I was gonna say First Knuckles.
Oh, First Knuckles.
Yeah.
I think the first appearance of Shadow. I think that's like the big one, right?
Jason, he
the
says
first appearance.
Spawn 7 numbers. Spawn 7 signed by Joshua Davis. I'll give 30 seconds to whoever else wants to.
How much does Spawn 7 sign go for? Do we know? Is that like $1,000?
Probably $1,000. Let's see.
I'm spacing on which cover that is. I've got 8 sitting like right over there. That was like always my favorite book to read. I don't know why.
8?
Yeah, Spawn 8. I read that thing so much as a kid. I don't know, like it just over and over and over and over, and I don't even know why.
If it were a newsstand, this is the Spawn 7.
So if it's a newsstand, it's $1,000?
Yeah, I think so.
Big
That makes
something.
sense. Okay, so we're okay, real quick, because we gotta get going. So it's between Michael Baker's second print Pressman or Joshua Davis's Spawn 7. What do you think?
Oh
Jason?
man, that's hard.
I don't know. Well, because I'm looking at one and I'm not sure as to what the other cover is. Like it sounds familiar, but I don't know exactly what it is.
Which one? The Pressman?
Yeah.
I'll show you.
Is that the original X-Men
That's the
series?
Pressman.
Oh, okay. Actually, I don't have that one. I've got just the normal X-Men 11.
Sorry, I don't know.
I don't know. If I was going based off of the covers, I think I like the Spawn one just a little bit more. Only because I have this one.
Just
You
choose
have
one.
the Pressman?
God damn it, just choose one.
I choose the Jim Lee.
Jim Lee. All right,
Yeah, I choose Jim Lee.
All
That's what I
right.
choose.
All right, Michael
Jimmy.
Baker, you are the wiener of the
But he said not to pick him. He said not to pick him. So
wait, what?
No, that was
he
Joe.
said not to pick him.
No,
Oh, Michael
it
Baker.
was Joe. Michael Baker. Damn, Fedora, you try. I'm just kidding. I'm just playing with
I don't know. I don't know the
No,
chat.
you're- I'm
Like I
just-
can't see
I'm just
the.
messing with you. Hey, Fedora, the next person that walks by, you'd be like, hey, you want me on a podcast?
There's like a mom with her baby. So
Yeah, do it.
that'd
Yeah, do it.
Nah, that'd be hella
Right.
awkward.
I'm
be
just
like-
kidding. I'm just kidding.
That guy that was like, yo, you owe me money. That was like the dude that I pay my phone bill to. He's like a Metro PCS.
That's hilarious. All right, Michael Baker, hit me up on Instagram just to remind me to send those out to you. We'll get those books out for you. Thanks again for everyone joining through. You all have a good Sunday afternoon. The Baltimore Ravens are kicking the shit out of the Detroit Lions right now. If you're betting on that game, hope that you're on the Baltimore side because good God,
I mean,
they're
I got Lamar Jackson on my fantasy team. But
I got Lamar Jackson too, and Zay Flowers.
Oh
so I'm
wait,
good to
hold
go.
on. I switched my book. It's gonna be Iron Fist 14, the Canadian price variant.
Oh my God, the Canadian price variant. Dog.
Yeah, that's even more money.
There you go.
So there
I've
we
been
go.
like hardcore. What is it? Like I've been eyeballing Tomb of Dracula 10 in a Pence variant recently.
Nice. All right, everybody.
Yo,
Thanks
bro,
for watching.
yo,
Thanks for the
you
likes.
gotta,
Thanks for the
you gotta
subs.
come to New York City, bro. You always slacking.
We'll try, man. I'm trying to go to Japan next year, so
What is it with this Japan? Everybody's going to Japan.
I gotta
the
I'm
opposite
going to
direction,
Mexico in a week, man. I got places to go. I've been in New
Yo,
York.
you
many
going to
times, man.
Mexico? You
Yeah.
going to?
Can I end the show?
Yeah, I mean, you can end it. We can keep talking after.
All right.